G'day guys, welcome to another episode. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Sandytrackx Fishing. So this episode I'm out at my storage shed and we've got a bit going on. So today we're going to be talking about some of the gear I use. You guys have been asking me what kind of combos, rods and reels I use, so we're going to go through those. Also, I don't know if it's behind me if you can see, but we've also got a lure wall that I'm going to install just so I can arrange my storage shed a little bit more, so I'm a little bit more organized for my trips. And we're also doing a big lure giveaway, so you're going to have to watch this video to check out how you can enter the competition, and I'm going to give away some lures. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Any comments or questions, just down below, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and we'll jump straight into it. So I won't try and talk too much because we've got a bit of gear to get over, but yeah, we'll quickly bang it out. And like I said, any questions, just drop them down below, and we'll yeah, I'll get to the answering when I can get there. So anyway, we'll leave those guys there, do some promos, and we'll get into it. Yeah. Alright guys, so the first two combos I'm going to run you guys through are mostly my brim and my bass gear. So everybody knows lighter is better. It's just more fun. It's more sensitive. So these are predominantly what I fish with mostly around rivers. But yeah, you know, I can use these combos for flathead, also little school Jew and everything. So you'd be amazed what little reels and good quality rods can actually handle. I've landed, you know, 90 centimeter plus fish on these combos here. No problems at all. So you don't need big heavy gear. So it's good fun. So anyway, we'll quickly run through all my gear. Try not to talk too much because I'll be here all day. And yeah, see how we go. So anyway guys, so I was using Shimano Stratic CI4 1000s, but I've changed over, just sold those off, and I've just changed over to the Shimano Stratic 2500s. Just so it's better cranking speed. Obviously a bigger reel means more line quicker on the reel, and it's a lot better to cast as well. You won't get the rod wrap tangles when you cast the little thousands because the line's coming off really tight. You'll get a lot of rod tip tangles and it becomes really frustrating. So I've jumped up to 2,500 size for my brim and bass gear, and I've had no complaints since. The castability is just as good as the thousands, if not better, and there's no tangles at all, which is really good. So yeah, so my brim and bass gear, 2,500 Shimano Stratic CI4s. I chose these reels because they're a really good price point, bang for buck. They're nice and light, they're a good looking reel, and Shimano's really good with their customer service. Shimano's all over it. I'll send these things away, and within less than a week they've been serviced and returned to me. So I've got the combos pretty much identical. The rods are a little bit different. I'll run those through in a second, but yeah, 2,500 Shimano Stratics. I've both got 8-pound Daiwa J braid in the 4. I like the 4 over the 8. I have less troubles with the 4. I think it's the 8s, I get a lot of wind knots, so I'm a fan of the 4. Some people like the 8, some people use Grand. You know, we all like our different braids. So I've got this is the old Shimano Zodius Gen 1. This is hang on, can't read upside down. This guy is a 6 to 12, so a 3 to 6 kilo rod. So this guy's going to be really good. It's a 7'2". It's really good for flathead and little soap Jew and that kind of thing. Also tailor off the rocks. So it's a little bit heavy for a broom rod. Bass fishing is pretty good. I can use like 1/4 ounce chatterbaits on that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a little bit heavier. And then we'll jump over to the new gen Shimano Zodius. This guy here is I believe a 2 to 4 kilo rod. Again, 7'2". All my rods are about 7'2". All those, I really like Shimano Zodius rods. I think the finish is really nice. Good price point again, and real sensitive, slow tapered rods. Yeah, I just really like them. So the two different ones there. So the only thing I didn't like with the first gens, as you can see here, It's a real hard plastic and there's not much grip there at all, which makes it really quite slippery and really hard to handle after you've been fishing for a few hours. So that was the Gen 1 rod, and that was the only complaint that I had with them, but they've obviously listened to me. Sandytrackx sending out a message to Shimano, and they've updated the cork grip there. Well, it's like rubbery cork stuff. So that's been extended and less hard plastic there. Also, obviously, a new butt end on that as well, so that's just a better graphic look. You know, overall, there's not much difference between them. They've got a few new graphics, but the finish is quite the same. Just the extended cork handle, so a bit more grip, which is really, really good. They're a fantastic rod, good price point. You know, these combos, for that combo, you're looking at about $600 to $650 by the time you put braid and all the gear on it. So for me, I do enjoy expensive gear, but there is a middle ground there where you can actually justify spending money on gear. For me, you know, that's it. That's pretty much, most of my rod and reels are around the $500 to $600 range. I think anything more than that, then you're always worrying about them. You know, like I'm still obviously worried about my gear. Obviously, if someone steals it, you know, $500-600 is a fair bit of money, but it's a good price point in the middle. If I break a rod, like, it's not $1,000 rod. So, but anyway, guys, that's the first two rod combos I'll run you guys through. And we're going to jump into the bigger spin gear, and then we'll jump over to Baitcaster combos as well. So alright guys, so next combo I'll show you, this is going to be starting to get into my bigger reels now. So this is a light rock, and I've actually been using this reel for a mangrove jack reel, and it's actually really, really good for what it is. So we'll get into it. So this guy is a Shimano Stratic Fl 4000 and XG. So XG is extreme gearing, so which means it's got a real quick crank speed on it, which is really, really good to pick up the line when you're targeting mangrove jack in estuaries. It's got 20-pound Daiwa J-braid on this, and it's teamed up on a Daiwa Zero rod, 3 to 6 kilo stick, and it's a 7'2". So 3 to 6 kilo stick. Now, some mangrove jack guys will say that's probably a bit light on for mangrove jack fishing. Now, I've got a 10 kilo rod over here, and it's a Daiwa Dreadback, and it's a 6 to, or what is that one? It is a 5 to 9 kilo stick. Now, for me, that is way too stiff. It's like an absolute broomstick. It's still really, really light, but when you go to cast it, it's literally casting a broomstick. So I went and bought this lighter 6 kilo rod, just so it's got a little bit more feeling to the tip. It's a little bit more floppy, so I can actually whip those lures and feel a lot more through the rod. Now, I've landed a 54 centimeter mangrove jack and a 50 centimeter mangrove jack on this combo, and I've had no troubles at all. So like I said, 20-pound braid. I've been normally rocking about 20-pound leader to chase my jacks, and yeah, I haven't been smoked or bricked yet. So I think it's a perfect combo with that fast gear ratio reel to pick up that slack. This combo also is really, really good for off the rocks for chasing tailor, bigger flathead, small soapies as well. So it's a really, really good combo for that. Daiwa Zero rods, yeah, I love them, and teamed up with that silver gunmetal grey from the Shimano Stratic. It just looks like a match made in heaven. Like, you would think that was just a professional combo there. So again, with the price point, you know, the rods retail for about $250 to $300. As much, you know, you go down to your local bait and tackle shop. Shout out to Bretto at Ballina Bait and Tackle. He always looks after you. If you're local or if you're traveling in the area, go hit up Brett. Really friendly, knowledgeable guy, and he always looks after you. So he always looks after me with my fishing gear as much as possible. And yeah, he recommended these Daiwa Zero rods, and now I think I've got about 3 or 4 of them. So they're just a really fantastic rod. Not too expensive, but you're getting that higher quality. Yeah, so anyway, so that's that guy. That's that guy over there. Wow, big guy. Whoa, if I can get this to balance. Okay, Nobody breathe. We're good. Okay. I think we're good. So the next combo I'm going to show you guys. So this guy here, I've been targeting bigger mulloway, or trying to target big mulloway, yet to land one. Bigger flathead and just fishing bigger lures. Big croaker lures, you know, that kind of style. Everybody knows what they are. So yeah, I didn't really have a combo for it. So I thought, you know, all these boys chucking out Stellas and Daiwa dogfights and all that, like I just couldn't justify spending the money on reels like that. And after doing research, I heard a lot of the boys that the reels actually die on you pretty quickly. So I thought, well, what's the point of going to spend $1,000 on a fishing reel when it's just going to get smashed with the elements? Like, you know, you got the salt, you got the salty air, you got smashing it up on the rocks. You know, so for me, I ended up going a Penn Clash 5000. You know, again, good price point. I think this reel probably cost me about $250, I believe. It's got 50-pound Daiwa J braid on that. I think it's got the biggest spool, so 350, 400 meters of braid on there, which you need those bigger spools. So, you know, if you hook a mackerel or something off the rocks, you might have a chance of landing it. So yeah, for me it was just a good price point. I can hit this on the rocks and smash it around a bit. And being a Penn, the new Penns are actually really good reels. They're really solid. Everything's sealed really well. I mean, it is quite heavy compared to the Stellas and stuff, but you know, if you're going out into the rocks targeting jewfish, you really want to be there early morning, late afternoon, and if you can time it in with a good moon phase and also a good tide. Normally I like to fish the run out. Realistically, you're only going to be out fishing on the walls for maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. So I've done 5-hour sessions where I've just chucked nothing but that and big croaker lures, and you know, my arms and shoulders are absolutely fine. So it is a bit heavier of a reel, but you know, it is solid, it's super sealed, and you know, for a $300, $250, $300 reel, I'm going to feel a lot better if I smash that on a rock than a $1,000 Stella. So that's the reel, and the rod is no surprise. Everybody's running these at the moment. It's a Penn Prevail 2. Again, price point on these are amazing. They're about $180. For the quality of rod that you're actually getting for that price is really good. They've got a beautiful finish, obviously a big butt end, so you can really punch those super long casts out there. The finish is really nice. Beautiful red and black graphic there. This is an 8 to 15 kilo rod, 10 foot, and it can cast up to 100 gram lures. So cast these big croaker lures really well. No problems there at all. So 10 foot rod, it's only a 15 kilo rod, so again, it's probably a little bit light for your big 20, 30 kilo jewfish. But I'm a pretty average height kind of guy, maybe even on the shorter side. So for me, fishing this 10 foot combo, flicking that around is really good. Dave's got a Penn Slammer, the new ones, and he's got, I think, a 6,000 size reel and a 13 foot Penn Prevail 2, and the weight difference is crazy. But Dave's a lot bigger, he's a lot taller, he's got a lot more top end, so for him to throw that 13 foot around with a bigger reel on it suits him really well. For me to throw his combo around all day, I would get pretty sore really quickly. So for me, a 10 footer, I think is big enough. You know, if you're going to hook a 20 to 30 kilo jewfish off the wall, you really need to take your time and let the fish play itself out, because you need it to get tired, because if you bring a big jewfish in the rocks and it's still green, you're not going to have a chance of landing it. So yeah, so that's that combo, guys, for off the rocks here. So this guy here is a Daiwa sea bass rod. It is a 4 to 8 kilo, and it can throw a 35 gram lure around. Balance again. So this guy I bought I actually team it up with my Shimano Stratic 4000. So this guy here, Jesus, this could be quite an expensive video. So this guy here, it's just like it's a 10 footer as well, but it's like a lighter version of my big rod. So it's super light, especially with that Stratic on there. And this guy is really good for chasing tailor, little soap jewfish, and flatheads off the rocks. So it's great fun. I can really punch some massive casts out with this guy because it's super light and it's super whippy. You can really just punch out nice chromies. Unfortunately, like I said, only a 35 gram lure. That's not a real big like chromie for a tailor, but it is what it is, I suppose. But it's a really nice rod. I can't remember how much I bought that for. I've had that for quite some time. Not super expensive. Again, I think it's around the $200 range. But yeah, really nice quality rod for what it is, and perfect for your tailor off the rocks. Alright guys, so my last spinning combo that I'll show you guys, and then before we get into the baitcaster combos for your bait fishos. So I am a massive lure fisherman. I super rarely throw bait, but every now and then I don't mind soaking a livey for a jewfish, or just enjoying the day with a big bait and just relaxing in the boat and having a coffee and a chill out. So so this guy here is a Shimano Baitcaster 6000. Well, it's a bait runner, I should say, sorry. So yeah, these things are really good for your live bait. So you've got like a little trigger there, and basically what happens is you click that over and that goes into free spool. So if a jewfish or a fish picks up your live bait, it'll run with it. You let it run for a minute or as long as you want, and then all you have to do is click it over. It engages straight back into your original drag, and that's set solid, and then you can just set the hook and you're on. So it's a really nice way of just throwing out a live bait on free spool basically. So it's got 50-pound Daiwa J braid on that guy, and this is teamed up with a little fiberglass rod. It is a Silstar Crystal Power tip. It is an 8 to 15 kilo rod. It's only a 6'6", and it can throw a 45 gram weight around, so with your sinkers and stuff. Yeah, this rod is actually really good. It's a really good combo for big jewfish. I've caught a massive stingray on this and brought it in no problems. It's really solid. It's a thick rod. So yeah, that's my bait runner outfit there. Shimano bait runners, they're a really good rod reel. They've been around forever. This is obviously the newest one they have out, and I think they're about $250 from BCF. The rod is quite cheap. I think I picked that up for about $100. So yeah, that's my my bait rod. Alright guys, before I break anything, I'm going to put all this stuff away, and then I'm going to bring out the baitcasters and run you guys through that. Alright guys, so the first baitcaster combo I'll show you guys, this is for mostly for my bass fishing. I can use this for brim and also flathead as well. So I bought this off a mate named Reese. Now if you don't know Reese, jump on over to his YouTube and Instagram, The Ghost Fishing. Really nice guy. Used to go to school with him, known him forever. He's got a massive heart and he loves his fishing. He loves his dew fishing, and well, pretty much any fishing really. So bought this rod and reel off him. Well, I snapped the rod unfortunately, but yeah, bought the reel off him, and yeah, I absolutely love it. So it's a Daiwa. I think it's literally the only Daiwa reel I've got. They do make good baitcasters though. They make good gear. They're just too expensive. But yeah, Daiwa Tatula CT100H. So it's a really small finesse baitcaster. As you can see, it fits in your hand perfectly. 6.3 gear ratio, which is pretty much a standard gear ratio for most of the finesse or smaller baitcasters. It's just got 10-pound Daiwa J braid on it, and yeah, this is my bait, my bass combo. So it's a Major Craft 6'6", 10 to 16 pound rod, and the combo is absolutely amazing. So being a Major Craft rod, I thought, wow, it's going to be super expensive. Picked it up. I really like the feel of it. It's a Go Emotion rod, by the way. Yeah, Bretto's Ballona Bait and Tackle hooked me up on a good price. It was the last one he had. I think I got it for about 170 bucks. I thought for Major Craft it's going to cost like a heap of money, but I think it's one of their entry levels to their rods, because they make some really nice expensive rods. They've got a really good name, but yeah, beautiful little rod for the price. Nice bit of carbon fibre inserts there, and yeah, just a good quality little rod. Teams up really well with that little reel there. So this is just a little finesse baitcaster. So as you can see, I've been using a little beetle spin on there. That was for my Hins Dam last few sessions, chasing bass up there. It's really good for a little chatterbait rod as well, like 1/4 ounce or smaller, and Imakatsu alive chatters are really good to be throwing around on that. Can throw up to a 3/8 on this, pretty good. But anything a little bit heavier starts to struggle. But yeah, that's my bass combo for my finesse little baitcaster setup there. So very, very happy with that. I think those reels are, I think they're about 300 bucks new, about 270, 280. It's the old model. I'm pretty sure they just dropped a new model in them. There's heaps of Daiwa Tutola reels out there. They're all really, really good. Again, you know, they're all about that $300 range. Alright, so going on to my most expensive combo that I have. So the things with baitcasters is you have to spend a decent amount of money to get something half good. Now people go, I hate baitcasters. They go spend $100 on a baitcaster and hate it. You know, the quality really, it's completely different when you're buying a baitcaster to a spinning reel. You know, spinning reels for $100, you can get some okay ones that will get you through. But the baitcaster, you really need to start spending $300-400 to start getting into the half decent quality. Again, you can go crazy and spend $1,000 on a baitcaster. So this guy here is probably the most expensive combo that I have, and it's pretty much the first real baitcaster I bought. So it's a Shimano Corrado Dc 150 HG. So DC means there's a digital chip in the reel that helps not get backlashes. Now that's why I bought this reel in the first place, because I had no idea what I was doing, and I thought, oh well, I suppose a little chip in there that helps not get birds' nests, well, can't be a bad thing. It does do it pretty good. What happens is you throw it out and makes a wicked noise, and some of my videos you'll be able to hear the noise it makes. You either love it or you hate it. I love it. And yeah, you throw out and you can actually take your thumb off the spool and the lure will hit the water and it'll just automatically break for you. So yeah, it definitely assists if you're just starting to get into bait casting and you don't know where to start. It's a very, very good reel because it does help you. So 150 is just the size, so yeah, it's a small compact little bait casting size there, and the HG means high gearing. Again, it just means it picks up the slack really quick. So as you can see on there, I've got a bass jig on this combo. So I've been watching a lot of American bass anglers and I've been frothing jig fishing. So yeah, I went out and bought this combo to A, to learn how to use bait casters, but B, I really wanted to understand how to use jigs because it looks hella fun. And this combo here does it absolutely perfectly. So the high gearing, so what happens is you pitch your jig out, bass will take your jig, you'll see your line moving, you want to pick up that slack super quick, set the hook, and that's what the high gearing is really good for. If you've got a super slow bait caster, before you've got time to crank that slack out of the line up, the bass has already bricked you or already picked up the jig and spat it because it knows it's actually not real. So it's really important to have a high gearing, extreme gearing. I think it is a... Alright, so this guy here is a 7:4:1 gear ratio. So it's not super quick, like probably you wouldn't want to go anything slower than that. But for me it does the job really well. So this guy here's got Daiwa J-braid. Pretty much all my reels have got Daiwa J-braid. That's 10 pound I think. And again on a Daiwa Zero rod. This guy is a 4 to 10 kilo and 7'2", and it can cast up to a 21 gram lure. So 4 to 10 kilos, so that's starting to get up into the thicker end of the rod. So I do use this for jack fishing, but you really want that beefier stick for the jig fishing, because you need that backbone to really set the hook hard, and then you've got the high gear ratio cranking speed of the baitcaster to do the job. So that whole combo is like the ultimate jigging, bass jigging platform. So all my combos, when I buy rods and reels, it's hard to justify. Like this combo here is pushing about $650 to $700. It is quite expensive. The reels are about $380, and again with the rods are anywhere from $250 to $300. So it is a little bit daunting spending $600 to $700 on a rod and reel. So when I do this, I try and make sure that I can use it for several species. So I can use this for flathead fishing, and I love throwing little swim baits around, or little OSP bent minnows for flathead on surface. I could put Xeric fish traps on this combo and catch little soap dew. I can do, all my rods, I can do a little bit of work on each species on it. So you don't need a million rods and reels. I mean, I know it's nice, it's very cool to show it off, but unless you got that extra money, you don't really need a lot of them. So I'd predominantly just use 2, maybe 3 of each combo, and that will cover most of my fishing. Okay, next combo. So still going with the silver on silver theme for most of my combos now. So I was a little bit iffy about the silver rods, but I've came around to it. Obviously, I've got a few now, and I don't mind it at all. So this guy here is a Shimano Trans 200. This has got 40-pound Daiwa J braid on it, and the rod is a Daiwa 0, 4 to 10 kilo, 7'2". It can cast up to a 21 gram weight. So this combo here I actually bought for barramundi, threadfin salmon, big flathead, jewfish, even cod fishing as well. So it's only got a 5.5 kilo drag on there, but I just used my thumb. It was a bit of a hard decision for me to go with a Trans 200 or go with a Trans 300. When you get up to the 300, I think it's about a 10 or 11 kilo drag, so that drag really bumps up, but you've got a lot bigger reel, lot heavier reel. So for me, I love fishing light, and this is still a super compact little reel where it fits in your hand nicely. And like I said, if you've got a big fish on, you just use your thumb, fully lock the drag up, and it's a very versatile rod. I can still use this, or I still use this rod for bass fishing as well. As you can see, I've got a little Molex swim bait with a little spinner guy there. I was using that at Hin's Dam, like that, for the bass fishing, just to replicate the bony brim and the dam. So like I said, I like to be versatile with my rod combos. And if I bought a 300 size, it's really only going to be a barramundi and cod outfit. And this guy here, with a bit of thumbing, I can catch anything I want to. I predominantly use these for jack fishing as well. Really good for chucking G splashes around, and I can still throw little little jackal squirrels around as well. So again, very versatile. I can throw a big range of different baits and target a lot of different species with this guy here. Alright, last but not least, this is the end of my gear. So another Shimano Trans 200, exactly the same with a 40-pound braid. So with me, it's like, as I've shown you guys, I've got 2,500 Shimano Stratics, and I've got 2 Shimano Trans 200s. I like to run as similar combos as possible. So if I'm going brim fishing or targeting bass or even cod fishing, I can pick up the same combo with different lures, if that makes sense. So I can have 2 or 3 of exactly the same combos on the deck with just different lures tied on, and they're exactly the same. So I don't have to adjust the drag. I know the weights are exactly the same, so I could just throw. I don't have to adjust myself. It's just a little bit quicker and a bit more efficient on the water. So this Trans 200, I do take it off and on different rods. I've got another Daiwa 0, 6 to 10 kilo rod there, so I use that guy. But I've also got this guy here, so I got a mate I hooked up with, Glenline Dam. If you guys go through my videos, you can see the Glenline Dam video. So he hit me up, never met him before, and yeah, we were just headed out there, met him, super nice dude, and I had no cod gear. I thought, oh okay, I better go buy some cod gear. So that's why I bought the 2 Shimano Trans 200s, and I knew it was winter time, so I needed to go buy some swim bait, lures, and also I need to buy a swimbait rod. So this is a Daiwa Tatula swimbait rod, 9 to 15 kilo, and it can throw up to 100 gram lures. So yeah, she's definitely a swimbait rod. It's an absolute weapon of a rod. It's got a nice long butt, so again, you get to hold the butt end as you're just pumping out those big long casts with the swim baits. So obviously swim baits, just the normal Jackal Gantiers and Gantarels and all that kind of thing. So you know, you're throwing $60, $70 lures around for a fish, and it's very daunting. Like for me, I never thought I would ever spend that amount of money on a lure. I thought it was absolutely crazy. But you know, with the right gear, you'd be very unlucky to actually lose one. So, but yeah, great combo. Again, I just use it for that one season for cod in the dam. I would definitely be using this a lot more. But again, I'll be using this in winter for flathead on swim bait as well. I've got a few different flathead swim baits there I'll use, and it will throw around awesomely. 100 grams it can throw around, so it can throw some really big lures easily, and yeah, just a really nice combo. So yeah, again, price point, as I said, the reel's about $280 and the rod was getting up to that $300 range, so it is getting up there. It's a more expensive combo, but you know, like I said, you got to spend the money on the good bait casting gear, otherwise you're just not going to have a good time on the water. So that's my combos that I use, guys. So I'll get into the lure giveaway. I'll show you guys what I'm going to give away, and yeah, I'm going to get onto this lure wall while my cruise is getting a rebuilt swivel hub, which is expensive but has to be done. So that's why I'm here doing this today. Thought, oh well, it's a bit windy, I don't have my truck, so I might as well sit in the sheds, talk some tackle stuff, and yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far. Hopefully you guys have picked up some pointers or tips and tricks, and yeah, any questions, guys, just drop them below. I'm happy to answer any questions you want, and you can tell you haven't used a rod and reel for a while when it's got cobwebs on it. Anyway, guys, we'll get into this lure giveaway, and yeah, I'm going to put this lure wall up, so with a bit of cursing and swearing, I think we're going to get it done. Alright guys, so the little lure giveaway that I'm going to give out, so it's roughly about $150 worth of lures and bits and pieces in there to give away. So what you need to do to go into the competition, obviously you've got to subscribe to my channel, of course, you've got to like this video, and also chuck in some comments below, whether it be a question or let me know what you want to see me do in the future. If you guys want me to run through some lure talks as well, I've got plenty of lures, bream lures, flathead swimbait lures, I've got heaps of stuff, so more than happy to sit here when the weather's not too good and talk about that. So if it's something that you guys are interested in, leave a comment below. Again, subscribe to my channel to enter the competition and like this video. Alright, so I'll quickly run through what's in this little box. So I'll draw this in about a month, so yeah, as long as you subscribe, like and comment on this video, I'll select somebody and I'll send it out to you guys. So it's just a little thank you from me to you guys to say thank you for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it, and yeah, the more my channel grows, the more stuff I can give away and everything like that. So quickly run through what's in this box. Again, there's about 150, maybe even a bit more of some pretty decent, good quality stuff in here. So it's hurting me a little bit to give it away, but you know, again, it's just a thank you to you guys, and I've got more than enough gear for a little bit to get me through. So anyway, guys, we'll get into it. So these are just a little flathead jig heads, 3/8 of an ounce, just a little 3-pack there, painted jig heads, nice solid hook. Yeah, they're really good little jig heads. We've got a little flick popper bros and 55 mil. So this is just like a little slow sinking little stick bait. It's basically when you throw it in, it flutters down, and a lot of bream and bass will pick it up on the flutter down. These things are absolutely dynamite on the bream, they love it. What do we got? We get little hard bodies out of the way. Again, same kind of a thing as the little flutter stick. This is just a little bit of a smaller profile. It's a 38 mil and little different color there, but yeah, pretty much exactly the same as that guy that guy there, killer on the brim and killer on the bass. We have a nice solid Dimiki little crankbait there. So this guy's, it's not a brim crank, it's a little bit bigger, so your impoundment bass fishing, and also even little cod, like little Murray cod, that'd be a great little crankbait for that. So awesome colour. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, nice little rattle in it, good colour. What do we got? 55mm. So it's that shorter profile, but it's really quite a fat lure, as you could probably see there. So yeah, nice little lure there. Got any? So that's it for the hard bodies, and we'll just jump on over to a piece of little soft plastic. So these guys here, just a little 3-inch Dimiki little Bloodworm Grub there. Just a nice clear looking grub with a little bit of red flecker through it. Wicked for bass, brim, flathead, whiting. Pretty much that will catch anything. What else we got? We got Fish Arrow Flash J Shad in the 3-inch little paddle tail there. So these guys are awesome little lures, hey. If you guys haven't used them yet, or one of you lucky viewers will definitely get to use them. So super natural profile, and they've actually got like a little foil hologram in there. The only thing with these guys are you need to rig it right the first time, because of that foil inside. Sometimes it gets stuck on the hook and it can bunch up inside and it just looks terrible. But as long as you rig them up properly the first time, these little little Flash J Shads are absolutely amazing. And we're going to jump over to a little bit bigger Smoky boom baits. Everybody knows those guys. Just the 5-inch and the sand, what are they called? Pearl Ginger Squid. Anyway, for me they just look like a nice little whiting. So you can use these for big flathead in the shallows. Again, you can run like a weedless hook and maybe a stinger hook as well. A lot of the boys been doing that. So you've got a few different ways you can rig up on the back there. Obviously awesome for off the walls for tailor and big jewfish. Jump on over to another Fish Arrow product. Just these look really interesting. I've never used them, but yeah, they look really good. 3.5-inch Fish Arrow little squids there, so super realistic. If that doesn't catch a brim or two, I don't know what will. So I'd use those super shallow water and around weed beds. That's where I'd flick those guys. Then going to jump over to Flick Groper Game. Just a 3.5-inch little plastic there. These guys look pretty interesting. Instead of a paddle tail, they got like a little ball on the back of them, so they get it like a really nice swing up, and they've also got a little bit of a joint in the middle, so that whole tail will give it a really good wobble. So perfect for your flathead. Even little soapy jewfish would absolutely love those. Good natural color as well. I've got 3 more packets. This guy here, what are they, Probess or something. I love using these for flatheads. The good thing with these lures here, they're a 4-inch paddle tail, got a nice, quite a big body to them, so they've got a good profile in the water, and flathead love them. But the good thing I like about these packets of lures is, as you can see, they're all different colours, which is good, because sometimes, you know, you get your traditional packet of plastics is one colour. And if you're just starting to get into lure fishing, you know, if you want to get into paddle tail soft plastics, you need to buy 3, 4, 5 packets, and all of a sudden there goes $50. So lures like this, if you're just starting to get into flathead fishing with all the different colours, you can just buy 1 or 2 packets and you've got all the colours that you need. So yeah, really good for flathead. And what else we got? So we got a packet of the big bite baits. These are just like a really big shrimp profile. They look really good. Super cool colour, like a grey with a black speckle on top with a silver belly on the bottom. Again, dynamite for flathead up and around the weed beds. Big, you can use a jig head, but with a bigger hook and a smaller weight, so it's got a really slow sinking. Couple of super slow twitches around the weed beds. That will catch you some absolute monster flathead. And last but not least, I need a beer after this. Is some, what size are these? 3.5-inch Dimiki white grubs. Just a nice big thick grub there with the curly tail on the back of them. So they're going to be absolutely dynamite, using those off the walls for tailor in the wash, and also good schooled little jewfish off the rocks as well. So yeah, so again guys, there's loads of stuff in here. Loads of stuff to give away. Just to say thank you for subscribing. and following me, commenting, doing everything. You know, I'm coming up to almost a year on YouTube now. Obviously, I'm going to grow more and more over the years, and I'm really enjoying making all the videos and the content. And you know, days of fishing isn't so good. It's fun editing videos up and pictures and talking fishing. I love fishing. When I'm not fishing, that's all I can think about. Always at BCF, and probably do more hours at BCF than most of the workers there. And yeah, I'm always watching fishing videos, completely obsessive. So, but yeah, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Something a bit different. Let me know down below if it's something that you're interested in a little bit more. We could talk about more lures and stuff. And next time, I'm definitely bringing a beer with me. I'm super thirsty. So yeah, to enter the competition one more time, guys, just subscribe to my channel, hit that like on this video, and leave a comment down below, whether it be a question or just tell me how good looking I am, or whatever it happens to be. That's it, guys. I'll draw it in about a month or so, once I get a fair few people view it, and give everybody a fair share at a crack at it. And yeah, one lucky viewer, I'll send all this gear out. So in the future, there's going to be plenty more giveaways as I accumulate more lures. And obviously, I know you guys want to run through the boat with me. I was going to do that, but I've got some future plans that aren't too far away, so I want the boat to be 100% ready to go before I do a run through, because I need it to be up to date for you guys. That's it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm going to get on to making this lure wall now. I'll show you guys quickly. Because it's a storage shed, I can't literally drill holes into it, so I've hopefully come up with a way that I can get around that and get this wall up. So I'll run you guys super quickly through that, so maybe you guys can get an idea. It's just so I can keep everything organized in one spot, because I obviously do have a house, and I've got a bit of fishing gear there, and then I've got most of my stuff here. So for me, what's the point of having two different spots and lures everywhere? So the point of the wall is just to have everything in one spot. I can get off the boat, store things, take things off, and just run it for more like a professional angler. And yeah, just trying to cut my lures down a bit, because I've got too many. Yeah, a few lures I like to use. I'm just going to have heaps of those, and that's it. I know that we all like to go out and buy the newest lures, and we think we're going to catch the fish, but realistically, it's always the lures that you trust and the ones that you're confident in are the ones that you use the most, and the ones that you catch the most fish on. Anyway, guys, hit that all the stuff you got to do. I'm not going to repeat it again, and yeah, good luck. Alright, guys, so yeah, as you can see, I started putting stuff up on the board, so I'm just going to fill it up, and won't bore you with that, but yeah, I'm just excited to have everything a little bit more organised and a bit more efficient. So pop the boat in, I can grab lures off the wall, restock, tackle boxes in the boat, or whatever it happens to be. So yeah, bit of a man shed now, but we're getting there. And yeah, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, chuck in a comment, all to win those lures that I'll send out very shortly to you guys. And if you guys want more tackle talk, lure talk, all that type of stuff, let me know, comment down below. And yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Yeah.